All right, let's do this one more example, and then you can work on the exercise. So what I'll do, I'll go to each step and just kind of give you 30 seconds to try to figure out what goes in that step, and then I'll do it. All right, so we have a set of data here, heights and weights and names. And then we calculate the body mass index of each person. Doing it using array operations, right? So I get an array of results. And I want to know how many of these people are classified as obese, which means the body mass index is greater than 30. All right, so write an expression here that'll tell us how many of the people, we're not asking who are the people yet, that'll come later. But for right now, just how many of these people, in other words, how many of these BMI values are greater than 30? All right, so I showed you 3 ways to do this. And as I said, the most efficient way is just take the sum of the relational operation. You take that sum of that logical array, and it'll count the number of ones. All right, so in this case, there's not to be 2. You can see there's one that's greater than 30, and there's one. All right, now we're asking who are the people? In other words, we want to pick out the names of the people for whom this is true. So how do you do that? All right, so this is where you use cross-indexing. All right, you're applying the relational operation to one array, and then using that as an index to the other array to pick out the corresponding values. Right? It turns out it's Jim and Jen. Okay, next question we're asking. So what are the BMIs of those 2 people, of the people who are classified as obese? So it's a similar thing. I'll just copy and paste this line and then modify it. And same kind of thing, logical indexing. But now we're indexing into the same array, because I want the values of BMI that are greater than 30. Okay, and those are the 2 numbers. All right, and then lastly, let's do one with a compound condition. Let's say we want to see, is there anyone who's both classified as obese and is under 5 feet 6 inches tall? All right, so obviously I can take the same condition, but then there's a second condition. And by the way, I don't actually need these parentheses because the relational operations have higher precedence than the Boolean. But I just think it's a little more readable if you put them in. Right, so sometimes it is okay to put in extra parentheses just to make something more readable, even when you don't really need it. All right, but then I have to take the sum. Actually, before I take the sum, let's just run this. Okay, you see I get a logical array of 0s and 1s. And then when I take the sum, it'll tell me how many 1s there are. Only 1. Who is it? Well, then I use that same expression to index into names again. And I get Jen.